My perspective on America was that I really wanted to come here. I've been trying to come here for a long time, come back here for a long time to do comedy.
You love Seinfeld. You love American.
I love, I loved Bill Burr.
Comedy.
I love The Office. I love these. Meeting you in here right now is actually kind of like a low key dream come true right now. It's pretty crazy.
That's nuts.
Everyone.
You've been in a Marvel movie. They won't even audition me for Marvel movies.
Yeah,
So-
I got a very small role, and it helps if you have no minimum
no quote.
No quote.
Yeah.
You can get. You'd be amazed how many things you can get into if you have no quote. Because my perspective was I always wanted to come here, and when I'm here, I always feel like I'm a guest, and I'm grateful for all the things that happen. So when I'm here, my criticism is never like fuck this place is awful. My criticism is always comes from like, oh, I came here because I thought America was this, and I can see it, and it's not there sometimes, and I'm like, it could be that.
Yeah. But this is an interesting argument because if you criticize America, people are like, well, if you don't like it, get out. It's like, well, no, I also criticize my wife, and it doesn't mean I want to get a divorce. It's just like, I want our marriage to be better, and I want to urge her to be better, and she wants to urge me to be a better person.
Yes.
So
Yes.
can we criticize in a way to kind of like culturally urge things to evolve and move forward? I mean, the United States is based on e pluribus unum. We've never really known e pluribus unum, out of many one. But that is an ideal to strive for. I think in a lot of ways we're getting a lot better. So let's try and make even more e pluribus unums.
Yeah, no, I agree. How do we take the best things from around the world and do them here is really the bottom line. That's really what it is, because I grew up in Singapore, and I went to law school in Australia. I lived there for 10 years. I've seen this. They don't even call it socialism over there. They just call it, that's just how the government should work, which is where education is free, healthcare is free. In Singapore, it's a very capitalist country by, I think, any measure, but their healthcare system works. They kind of force you to save for your own healthcare by making you save your own salary. A portion of your salary every month goes to your own Medicare savings, and then the government.
Kind of like ours does for Social Security.
Yeah, right. And so
theoretically.
And then you go to like Japan and they have bullet trains, and then you're also like, well, why
can't we have bullet trains?
Yeah, why can't we have bullet trains? Why can't we have better healthcare system? Why can't we have...
But isn't that part of our toxic political system? I always come back to our partisan, because trains are like a lefty thing because they're good for the environment and it's public infrastructure. Yeah. So then the political right is like, fuck trains. We want more trucks and highways and oil. Yeah. And then the left is like, fuck trucks and highways and oil. We want trains. Yeah. It's like, can't we all get along and have trucks and oil and highways and really fast, effective trains?
Yeah,
But the oil lobby is also very powerful in the right wing, and they will actively work to subvert any large mass transit projects.
Yeah, and it's really sad. And I do wish people could see that. I think sometimes America does a lot of things right. Innovation here is very strong. Show business is very strong here. And so combine those two ideas, if they could sell some innovation better, that to the whole country, that would probably be a better thing. But I think sometimes Americans don't look enough to, or know enough to look at other countries and see these good ideas. Because if you've never been on a bullet train, you wouldn't even know what the hell that is. You've never even seen it. You never know how easy that could make life for people. You're like, I don't care about that, Right. If you've never been able to go to a hospital and not worry about becoming bankrupt, you don't know what that feels like.
Well, I remember years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, eating dinner in Canada, and I was like, can I get the check? And they're like, and they took care of it at the table with a little like remote charge thing. And I was like and I didn't have to go up and stand in line and wait at the cashier.
Right. And then I was like paperwork that you have to
and it blew my mind. I just went like this and like, and I was like, why don't we have this in the United States? And finally it came. The Canadians were onto this good 10, 15 years before us.
Australia was onto that before.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it's interesting sometimes. I think
Michael Moore had a documentary called What Country Should We Invade Next? That was literally, I'm not kidding you. This was about this exact thing. He went around the world looking at healthcare, education, other kinds of social innovations and said, what can we take from other countries? What can we learn from other countries? But again, that takes humility. And because it was Michael Moore, who's a leftist, then everyone was like, oh, fuck him. Hey, did you like that video? Why don't you click on this one? Or maybe watch this one, or click over here.